bottom left side. That is a Shopify Rebellion member. It's the Red Terran. Give it up for BYUN. And in the top right side, representing the House of the Dragon Phoenix Gamers, it's the Blue Zerg. Put your flippers together for Rogue. Alright. BYUN versus Rogue. Alright, now this match I feel like could be absolutely amazing. One of the greatest matches I've seen in a while. Or it could be over in a couple of minutes, right? Both could happen. It still might be really cool if it is going to be over in a couple of minutes, but it would be quite sad. Just hoping to see big things. We have the hatchery first here from Rogue. BYUN going with a singular gas with the barracks expand. Everything looking normal so far, which, you know, in my book is a good thing for this little best of 5 series that we have. I would love to see some macro going down between these two. But both of them very much capable of just throwing out a massive all-in at some point if they do detect weakness. Players with the killer instinct, as they say. Relentless in their aggression. Relentless with that counter-attacking. For example, Rogue with his Zergling run-bys continuously will probably be bothering BYUN. Expecting the drops from BYUN as well to continuously be bothering Rogue. And that's kind of the fight that I'm hoping to see here. Or at least I'm kind of anticipating myself. A lot of maniacally running around on the map trying to get everything where you need it to be. Taking the third base on a triangular position though might indicate that Rogue wants to get his creep towards BYUN's side a little bit quicker here though. Which might mean that he is planning to go a little bit quicker with the offensive. See how many queens he ends up building. Don't see that too much, right? The queen pushes against Terrans though, but roaches and stuff. It's not too uncommon. You know the rogues were, I think it was Dark coming up with, well, really fine-tuning the style of going roaches against Terrans as well, and then that leading you into the lurker play. Okay, so Rogue is spreading creep towards his main base as well. That is a nice thing to see. It's not really just, you know, aiming towards getting the creep as quickly as possible to the middle or towards his opponents. Which, to me, you know, little notch on the counter of, well, might not be something very aggressive coming out. First blood does get spilled here. Matter of fact, with the Marines picking off the Overlord. I guess another Zergling died somewhere at some point in time as well. Probably trying to get a scout off. Another Overlord here in trouble. Zerglings coming to the rescue, but that Widowmine here actually, if that burrows in the ground. Oh, actually BYUN just picks everything up again. Thought he was gonna burrow the Widowmine in the ground, and then, you know, as the Zerglings are still on the ground on the Marines, you can pick up the Marines last second. Get rid of all of those Zerglings that way. But no, BYUN decides to play it a little bit more carefully. Well, does manage to get 6 drones here so far, so that is paying off for himself. Finding some nice positions here in between the mineral patches and the gas geyser and such. Medevac is very low though. Was it these Hellions getting these kills as well, actually? It looks like it, yeah. Those have a lot of kills here. So he went into the third. We have the Ravens starting to join in on the party as well. Still have a medevac with 3 Marines on the top right, but that is being withheld by a Queen. Oh, doesn't get a drone there, but just shooting some links for the energy of a Raven. That's okay. Right, the more links you kill, the more he has to replenish, the less drones he gets to make. Double upgrades for both of these players as well. As more and more bases are being taken right now. BYUN still having to secure that third, of course, as Rogue already aiming towards a fourth. Looking pretty solid for him so far. I'd say Rogue has done a really good job with defending. Looking at his work account, 60 versus 49 right now. It's pretty good. You enjoy cheeses and quick games as well? As long as the players play well. Yeah, I mean, especially if you see like some sort of a new strategy, right? With a unit composition that you're not quite used to, or some sort of attack being utilized early on in the game. Also some great innovative moments. And yeah, they are very cool. But, you know. Moving on forwards. It's a bit of an attack. I think we might be able to finish off that fort later on down the line if I still remember it. Let's see. It is going to be a Hellbat push. Interesting. The Banelings, he's going to jump right on top of them as they are still morphing. It's quite a brave move, but it is helping him out quite a bit. Only 3 Banelings in total arrive and only hitting 2 Marines. But the Queens are plenty to withhold the rest of the remaining Terran units. Still hanging around. Oh, but BYUN never forgets the medevac hit. Oh, well, never mind. He may have forgotten it as he F2s his army. Oh, that's what you get for praising somebody before fully seeing what is happening, actually. Alright. Getting himself into an awkward position. He's still on creeps to these Banelings. Even though they don't have speed, they still manage to get rather close, uncomfortably close to the Terran units. BYUN may have overestimated his odds after fighting against the Banelings and the Zerglings there so well. Maybe he overestimated his odds of just being able to come in there and take more trades that will just go into his favor. Singular Widow Mine at the... and what is it, the 6 o'clock. Does help out a little bit. Gives the indication that the links are on that side as well. Gives the indication that they moved away from that location also, of course. Allowing BYUN to once more try and claim this area over here. Widow Mines need to get good connections. There's still 1 Baneling. He does manage to target that down. And BYUN actually targeting the... I'm not sure if he was targeting the Overseer, but the Widow Mine was. Not sure if that was intended. Trying to get rid of the stealth detection, right? That could be a good way of keeping those Widow Mines around and providing a lot more difficulties for Rogue with this situation. You'll have to, first and foremost, you'll have to find some Overlords somewhere, make them Overseers, have to move over there, make sure that your army doesn't move over that location. Like, there's a lot of things that you suddenly have to do as soon as that Overseer dies. And yeah, if you're in a little bit of a pickle as the Terran and you're in a bad fight, you may as well just try to target them down sometimes, right? At least that's what I think about the situation. You're already in a bad situation, may as well try to just make the best of it and make things as terrible for your opponent as possible. Alright, yeah, that is rather a rude way to place a Widow Mine right there. But looks like Rogue will be able to deal with it rather nicely. Only 2 workers going down overall with all those Widow Mines hanging about. Oh, there we go. That's a good Widow Mine connection. How many kills was that? 16. Lovely. At least they weren't Banelings, just Zerglings, of course. Alright. BYUN starting up his 4th base mining right now as Rogue is attempting to take a 5th. Let's take a look at the units lost tab, and yeah, you know what? BYUN slowly, well, slightly getting himself ahead there. Let's see if he manages to keep that going. Alright, trading so far. Those Zerglings came in way too quickly for these Banelings. I guess he just had to because the Banelings were still morphing. Oh, alright, Widowmine connection here. BYUN has to be careful. Those Banelings, they are getting rather close. He's trying so hard with the stutter step micro. Trying to keep as much alive as possible while taking out as many Banelings as possible as well. In the meanwhile, more reinforcements come in. It looks like BYUN will be okay here. Especially with those Widowmines still hanging about. Right, is he? Oh, okay, more Marines coming in from the top. Now he definitely should be okay. He still has a full medevac here as well. He needs to get those units unloaded. There we go. Alright, so BYUN stabilizes now. There was a lot of army committed for Rogue. Even losing a couple of Zerglings right now does hurt him quite badly. Simply because BYUN, he's not going to be sitting still here. He will keep on pushing. And he will try his luck once more here on this high ground. Widowmine's not the greatest this time around, but I mean, there are a lot of Marines, a lot of Marauders still remaining here. Doing alright against the Banelings, but maybe not quite having enough Marines to really tug down the Queen army here with the Transfuse. Marauders don't do that much damage to them. As well, at the same time, it seems like, oh wow, 12 kills right there with these Widowmines. Is that correct? Yes. Oh my. Oh, Rogue not being able to pay attention to that side as a Widowmine drop comes in. Rogue struggling, only on 60 some workers, going up to 71 right now. He's trying to develop up to lurker tech, but I mean, BYUN's just not giving him a second to breathe here. And Rogue is trying to get to lurkers. I don't think he's going to be able to successfully get himself there. If he did have lurkers right now, he might be in an alright position because BYUN doesn't really have anything to fight lurkers with. But as soon as they even get available right now, those Hydras are severely, desperately needed to fight at the front at the moment. And even then, right, they still have to morph. They're still going to be bad because you don't have the upgrades. With only 1 game down, this man has managed to claim the lead. The Red Terran from House Shopify Rebellion. It is BYUN. Bottom left side, the Dragon Phoenix Gamer Man himself. It is Rogue, our blue Zerg player. Definitely was struggling a little bit. But only later down the line when he, you know, was on like 5-6 bases when things really started to get a bit wobbly for him. But before then, he seemed to be in an alright position, right? Managed to get a lot of control going. Managed to successfully set him up on that amount of bases with an alright drone count. Defended against most of the aggression. Losing a bare minimum of drones. I guess he lost 6 drones at some point, right? But it feels like you should still be okay. If it was a little bit more than that, I would be, you know, a bit more hesitant to say that. But 6 drones, you know, that's okay. For the amount of stuff that BYUN was throwing at him, I'd say that is still impressive. Now in game number 2, we're kind of looking to be a very similar game as game number 1. At least as the first setup goes. Wondering if we're going to get the triangular base once again here from Rogue. Yes, it will. Alright. Interesting. feel like this base might be a little bit more difficult to defend against like smaller run-bys happening as well. This base right here, I mean, you're gonna have your army over here anyway, right? Then you just need a couple of queens spreading creep this way, and then that's gonna be fine. But over here, it just, I don't know. Feels like with the extra opening there, or maybe this one, right? It's a lot more vulnerable little blue mineral patches there. Will once again be Hellions here. A little bit similar as we saw the previous game once again. Oh, a quick armory off of the second base this time. Okay. Okay. Assuming this is going to be a much quicker Hellbat push that will be arriving here. And the Baneling Nest was a little bit slow for Rogue the last time around. Was still morphing a lot of Banelings when that much later Hellbat push came in. Maybe he's gonna get an alright scout here though. Where is that armory? Okay, the armory is behind the minerals right here. The Overlord so far not being all too successful, but oh, that circling. Please close the supply depots. Just run in. Oh, he didn't run in. Guess he's busy with trying to defend already against the medevac right now. Trying to keep those creep tumors up. There are Hellbats in his face though. And the Baneling Nest is nowhere near to be completed. Where are the queens? 4 queens coming in from the bottom. A couple of Zerglings there as well, ready to tango. But it's only 6 queens and it's only... I'll make that 5. Only 23 Zerglings right now. Very rough position. The medevac as the first target needs to be taken out. There it is. Any damage will stay now on these units. That's a big deal. These drones trying to get to safety. Looks like Rogue will be able to hold on here with, well, considering the circumstances, minimal losses. I would still proclaim that these were minimal losses. It's not great for him overall, right? The trade value. He had to make a lot of extra links, and that means he might not be up to the drone count where he really wants to be at this moment in time. But he's still ahead in workers by a reasonable margin, where the Zerg shouldn't be too bothered. As long as he just has a reasonable next part of this game. A little attempted Hellion aggression, why not? Just coming in again. What's up, size? I'm doing alright. A little bit hungry, a little bit packish, but other than that, I'm okay. Oh, Banshee aggression as well. Shining in from the main base there. Finding the dead space available on 2000 atmospheres. Queens do successfully push away all these Hellbats. Yeah, you know what? I'm not opposed to either of these players' positions so far. Still attempts being made by these Hellbats to just deny the creep spread as much as possible. He's not willing to actually exchange Hellbats for the creep tumors, though, it seems. We'll be heading on out of there. Alright. Might be wondering why the Queens took so long to transfuse that Overlord. It's trying to get as close to the Viking as possible. I mean, as long as you manage to save the Overlords, you'll be okay, right? You just want to try to get as much damage on the Viking as possible as well. Oh, this is going to be tight, though. Doesn't get that one. Other overlords on the edge, and BYUN's been quite successful so far with his overlord hunting. I think he's going to get this one as well. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, another overlord goes down. That is starting to add up right now. That's already 4 overlords, a 5th... no, actually, well, maybe a 5th one. Will be going down as well. I mean, it's not supply blocking Rogue, but it is a lot of minerals that he's having to spend. 2,000 minerals lost so far versus 1,000. And yeah, let's just be an absolute little Viking on the ground right here. All right, let's just be able to lift up. Yep, does that in time as well. Another drone comes out. It's like, alright, it's my turn now to become a hatchery. Is he gonna get the land? Oh, please tell me he will. Oh, he does! What a god! Oh, he gets it. Wow, that is so frustrating. And now the Zerglings have to come over all the way back there again as BYUN is pushing on the left side. The Banelings are there, but there's no Zerglings. More Banelings are on the way. This is a big Zergling Baneling army available here for Rogue. It should be enough, especially with how he's set up. He's playing it a little bit safe. He knows there might be Widow Mines lurking in this area. And there's 3 of them. At this point in time, BYUN not really going to be able to break in this area, but still looking to lure Rogue into those Widow Mines. And if Rogue plays this correctly, yeah, he's going to be able to set them off. There we go, with the bare minimum of Zerglings. Now, trying to avoid BYUN from being able to just pick them up and get out of there. Oh, another push coming in from the right side. Oh, Zerglings, they do get us around, but that base still has to be cancelled. Pickup comes in. Marines get out of there. Good eye spotting that Widow Mine on the top side. Does get rid of that as quickly as he can. But yeah, I mean, Rogue so far is not that much creep spread going around. And that is worrying. I mean, he didn't trade all that efficiently in the earlier part of this game. In order for Zergling Baneling to trade efficiently, I do say you would love to have some creep underneath their feet. I think some Zergling run-bys now are starting to take place. BYUN, nice wrap around there with a couple of those Marines from the medevac drop. BYUN continues onwards on the multi-pronged harassment. The double-forked tridents. The 2-forked tridents here maneuver, as it's famously called in StarCraft 2 terminology. Claims an alright amount of space here. Widow Mine. Oh, does get set off. More Banelings. Get an alright trade there. Where did the Zerglings Banelings go on the right side? It looks like he brought everything over. Maybe not anticipating this. And oh, that's a massive Widow Mine right there. Rogue not paying attention, or perhaps just trying to get there as quickly as he could, hoping he would save that hatchery. But that still goes down, so tough luck to Rogue. Not just losing the hatchery, but a good chunk of units as well. And this is just BYUN, you know, lurking around the edges of the Zerg, trying to force the Zerg to make mistakes, trying to get him to consistently just run into Widow Mines. And since it is on 2 locations and the Overseers are struggling to keep up, it seems, it's difficult for Rogue to really clean up these areas. Especially with reinforcements just coming in over and over again. Is that another kill? Okay, no, that had to be a cancel. Alright. BYUN actually manhandling Rogue right now. Comes in through the top with an army that needs more Zerg there as a response. Once again, Rogue looks to, you know, try and develop into the lurk attack here, but there's just no breathing room to do so. And every time he starts investing a little bit more so into the lurk attack, it is just a quick downhill experience for him. He's going to lose this base once again. Nothing there to defend against a small batch of Marines. Let's see if that was a cancel. It was not, my friends. Rogue fully entangled with the fight that's happening on the left side right now. And in all honesty, even that is not going in his favor. Having absolutely everything on the one side and just letting his right flank collapse. I mean, maybe he's going to be able to get an alright fight out on the left, but it's still going to be a game that's lost for him if he does not manage to deal with the Marines on the right side. Or at least stop them from just running into the natural base or the third base. Yeah, that is just a GG Rogue. Feeling desperate, honestly. Alright. What other things are there that Rogue can try to do? I don't know. I don't know exactly, but... man, my gut instinct is telling me Infestors. Just to, you know, have the fungal to avoid the Marines from running away as quickly. So you're going to get a bit better trades with your Banelings. You're going to have the Widow Mines be revealed as well, right? So it's a bit easier. You don't have to consistently just run around with your camera trying to find Overlords to turn into Overseers and wait around for a bunch of time. You'll be able to get that settled a little bit more quickly. But then, you know, I'm just thinking about BYUN and his Ghost Control. Yeah, if you start relying too long on the Infestors, right, or for an extended period of time, then most likely the solution to them is just going to be available for BYUN very, very quickly. It's quite an investment to make, is that short period of time where you might have some other extra technology there in between in order to kind of stay alive against this onslaught of Terran. Is that eventually going to be worth it? Or are you just delaying the inevitable at that point? It's rough to say. It's a lot of mind theory crafting here, of course, but ultimately, I'm not the one that has to put it into practice. It is going to be Rogue, and maybe there's something to be said about Rogue just trying to do his style once again here, right? Didn't manage to make it quite work, but maybe he feels like, well, I just kind of need to be a little bit more on top of my control. Just, you know, just be slightly more careful with the Widow Mines. And then, if I establish the Lurkers from this point, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be in a really good spot. BYUN will be not ready to be fighting Lurkers, as he is just doing everything he can to slow me down. Making Widow Mines, Marines, Medevacs, and a few Marauders in between. But there's not much there to really combat the Lurkers head to head, or force them out of that position, right? I guess BYUN was already making Liberators down the line later on, which is a little bit terrifying, honestly. Liberators, very good addition to that unit composition to go in later down the line as the Ling Baneling. What does it translate into? You could go Lurkers with the Hydras. You could go Ultralisk as well. And Liberators. Good against both of those, so... Alright, we'll see. Would also be good against Infestors, by the way. Oh, that would shoot them down quite quickly. Right. BYUN goes hunting for Overlords once again, it seems. Not building a Viking this time around, though. So not taking it as seriously as he did before. But I'm sure we'll have a good hunt nonetheless. Just trying to get what he can, right? It's not much, but it's honest work. It's good, honest work. Unloading all the Marines right now. I mean, it's still quite a way off for Stimpack, as we do not even have a attack lab on a barracks. Instead, we have a third base coming up. A bit quicker here for BYUN. BYUN playing it carefully. Not trying to overstep the boundaries here. Just looking to snipe some creep tumors, snipe the overlords that he can. And that's about it. Until we filled up 3 medevacs with a bunch of units here. 2 siege tanks, I believe. Yeah, 2 siege tanks. And a whole lot of marines there as well. How many is that? Is that 8 in each? No, wait, that is 7, right? Yeah, 7 in each. 8 would be fully filled up. Oh. Not having a little bit of second doubts here for a moment, but it looks like he will try to commit. The queens are coming in here. Oh, this looks like a tough battle for both these players to really judge what's going to be happening here. The queen numbers definitely going down. I don't think this is a winnable fight or exchange here for BYUN. He did manage to come in again with the Hellions though at the same time. And grab himself 6 drones. Was that worth it though? Quite a investment. The 2 siege tanks, 1 medevac goes down as well. 350 gas, but is up with about 600 on the mineral lost count now. This also delays his widow mines and all of that, of course. And you saw how great they were earlier on for his type of playstyle. SCV transfer makes a pit stop to try and get the medevac fixed up. Cool stuff. It's always nice to see those little tiny things, right? Normally you don't want to send too many SCVs to repair because it's, you know, missed mining time. But if you're going to be sending SCVs across there anyway, the orbital isn't even in the ground yet, and then you may as well. You may as well. Right, army size for BYUN here is starting to grow rather rapidly now with all those barracks and such up on the top producing, all 5 of them. And every add-on being complete as well. Rogue did manage to get himself up to 77 drones for the time being. And I'm hoping to see something else here coming out. We see Burrow as an upgrade coming out, so that could be pretty cool actually. Seeing him go with the Burrow tech. Might be able to get the trades go more favorably in his favor this way, right? The favor will switch. Once again, bringing these Hellbats along. And, oh my, Banelings attempt to roll into the SCV line. Unfortunately, BYUN there. Or at least, unfortunately for Rogue. BYUN paying attention. Being fully aware. Circling to the side. You know what? There wasn't that many Marines there. Let's just try to see what happens. That's a lot of links right now. They get some alright surface area, but with the SCVs in between as well, it's rough to tell. A lot of those SCVs are going down though, and that is a great little run by there from Rogue. Utilizing the fact that BYUN doesn't have that many units on his side of the field here. When he does go for the double forked hydrant. What was I calling this again? I forgot. The double forked position. Let's just call it that. Let's take his chess terminology. It's where you know, use a threat on 2 locations at a time. I guess that there are 2 separate units forcing these threats, but you know what? It's the best thing I can come up with. I guess there would be a more applicable way. Oh, we'll come into that later at a point in time, I suppose. Medevacs threatening the run into the main base here. Finding their safe spots in the behind the minerals instead. Now just set up in that dead space. Are going to force some hiders to stay around that area. Meanwhile, BYUN. Massive force of units right here, starting to assemble at the 4th base of Rogue. Rogue, as he comes in it, A little bit desynchronized overall, but does manage to get an alright fight going. Topside base now, though, once again under pressure. Those Marines were not left under the careful eye of enough Hydralisk there. So they were able to re-establish a foothold. Units lost tab. Again, we are trading favorably for BYUN, but it does seem to be a little bit less favorably this time around. Do we have any burrowed banelings anywhere? It almost feels like Rogue just forgot about it, right? He's just so hard-pressed trying to defend everywhere that it's just not possible for him to also burrow banelings here, meanwhile. I mean, look at this. There's Medevacs on top. There's units over here. He's doing a run-by, which I like very much as well. This does seem to be getting him a lot of value overall. And look at that! BYUN actually just tapping out with that run-by coming in once more. Bottom right side, a red Terran. Representing the Shopify Rebellion, it is BYUN. Top left side, the Dragon Phoenix Gamer. It is the blue Zerg Rogue. Alright. So we were getting our Zergling run-bys there, ultimately. Was hoping that we would. I'll be honest, and yeah. Rogue always quite lethal with those, so finds good opportunities, great moments. He's very well at reading when exactly those Zerglings have to go across the map, and when those opportunities arise to actually get damage dealt. Proving it once again. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. On such a macro map. We're all going for the spawning pool first. Now, spawning pool first doesn't necessarily mean all in instantly, right? Sometimes the Zergs, they do it in order to keep the Reaper at bay from their opponents. Sometimes it's because, you know, it also provides a little bit of extra safety against something like a proxy Rex. It also can freak out your opponents a little bit, right? So maybe BYUN will be playing overly protective right now. Yeah, I guess like the second supply depot here. I'm not sure, it may have already been part of the build. I mean, he's getting a bunker as well, right? So there's definitely actions being taken here by BYUN. But yeah, Rogue just casually droning up behind this. He did make 6 links though, so that is still quite a couple. It's not just having the 2 links, right? He did get speed as well. So he's gonna have himself some speedy links, trying to poke their heads in, figure out what is going on in the base of BYUN. He's gonna grab himself the Overlord speed as well, so, I mean, Rogue here just fully committed to trying figuring out what his opponent is up to. Once again, doing the creep spread into the main base. Something that we, for some reason, still don't see from every Zerg. It's like such a absolutely crucial thing to do, it feels like. Especially against opponents that like to drop. Oh. Well, that's an awkward crater over there, isn't it? We are not anticipating the Overlord to be coming in like that. Rogue. You gotta be feeling pretty good about that as well. Yeah, in all honesty. Oh, wait a moment. Whoa. BYUN restarts the armory on the other side. It's like, well, you're not gonna... Oh, he's still gonna scout it. You're not gonna know. Until the very last moment. Well, he kind of knew that there was a possibility. Well, actually, it's interesting, right? Because seeing a cancel maybe made him think like, alright, well, now it's definitely not coming, right? But then... Did he ever see it? Did he see it? Okay, yeah, he did see it, still see it. But yeah, it was very late, of course. Guess that's why we're seeing the Spine Crawler in production. The Spine Crawler gets targeted down quite quickly. Circlings, they are going for the runaround. Is that supply depot gonna get lifted? Yeah, Zerglings, come on. F2 being used there for a moment. Zerglings don't attack the supply. Okay, well, that's a shame. 2 drones so far getting destroyed by the Liberator. Liberator shooting down a lot of Zerglings and little larvae also. Oh, the Baneling's not finding a good fortune trait there. Things are falling apart here for Rogue, it feels like. Maybe truly not anticipating that Hellbat attack any longer and now struggling to find enough to hold on to all of these locations at the same time. Okay, medevac is targeted, so there we go. Marines now stranded. Do still pick off another queen. And some alright trades there going down in BYUN's favor here. Setting up the Liberator once again. Is he going to get some more? Not quite. Nice bit of a micro battle here between the Spore and the Liberator. He's going to try to get that back home. BYUN having a third base himself behind this as well, so must be pretty good. He's got the +1/+1 on the way. It's the Evo Chambers for Rogue, only just now starting up. So, another nice little tidbit of bonus for Rogue. Sorry, for BYUN. For Rogue. Not having those upgrades. Lovely. Gotta love it. Rogue's still okay. Yeah, he is still okay, but I do... Oh, the work account is looking pretty solid for him, actually. I don't know. Maybe I was overestimating BYUN's position here. Fourth base coming up. The production of BYUN is going to kick up into high gear pretty soon, though. Let's take a look at the trades once again. 2 queens, 5 drones in total, 24 lings. Still 33 available right now. Yeah. Yeah, it's very playable for both players. There we go. More Spore Crawler defense. That is crazy, man. He knew exactly where that Liberator wanted to go. Still gets 3 drones, but you know what? I'm sure he's fine with that. It's actually behind on workers now, actually. Oh, that is quite funny. Now, BYUN keeping these Hellions back at home. Looks like that is his attempt to keep the Zergling run-bys at bay. I'm expecting to... What was that? Oh, the Overlord there. Oh, were those Banelings in there? Oh no, no SCVs went down, so... Mutalisks are about to arrive on the field, and that could put a stop to the aggression of BYUN here quite nicely as well. Widowmines still do a lot of damage against Mutalisk, but it's a lot easier to clean up Widowmines with Mutalisk than it is with the Hydra composition. So I like that tech choice from Rogue. Going to be able to find a couple of medevacs here as well. Probably still expecting the Hydra play overall and feeling like they should be safe overall. Oh, still a good Widowmine connection there. Mutalisk catch another medevac right there. There's not much remaining here, actually. Right, hold up. Widowmine into the ground. Burrow. That is still 8 drones. And that is still a couple of Zerglings into the fray as well. Widowmines not saving the day this time around. Mutalisk on top of the rest, and that is now cleaned up. Bar 1 Widowmine. Yeah, it's fair. 71 workers versus 71 workers. BYUN going for the 4th base. I'm still liking BYUN's position here. Perhaps a little bit better, but yeah, you know what? Those Mutalisk, they are carrying their weight though. They are doing a lot of great stuff now for BYUN. Alright, for Rogue. Man. I need more food. Brain. Hurts. Brain hurts. Alright, Thor's coming in as well. That's a good choice. Drilling class for those Widowmines as well, and a incredibly important upgrade. The armory not that protected in this natural base, unfortunately, so that does get taken out. Banelings blow up the SCVs almost. They do get rid of that supply depot wall, though. As the Thor maneuvers himself in between the 2 mineral lines. Gonna try to keep the Mutalisk at bay for a longer period of time. And this is just an entirely different game from the ones that we've seen before between these two guys. Just having the Mutalisk around, it changes so much. There's not that many opportunities for BYUN anymore to be aggressive. If he does get aggressive, it's a lot harder for him to just pick up his units and try to skedaddle and get himself out of there. And now with all the extra pressure from the Mutalisk as well on the other side of the map, it seems to be a good thing for him. BYUN looks like he will still find opportunities though. Will refrain from going with the double attack. Trying to set up the 2 areas to engage upon. Instead, keeping one of his army portions at home. Some Thors and Marines scattered around in the other locations as well. So its numbers are starting to grow quite high. Oh, that is some nice banelings right there. Mutalisk come in as well, really shut down the defense that was still remaining. And the trades, look at that. They're getting closer and closer together now. Ooh, more Widowmine drops though. 5 drones on the 3rd base. Careful, Rogue. Okay. Oh, that's a majestic little split. Does manage to make that work. It's 20 drones here. That could be a good hit. Oh, gets 2. Well, as great as it could have been. But Rogue taking a lot of claim off the map right now. The bottom left side almost fully in the blue and the purple colors. There is a maneuvering from BYUN overall to try and pressure this location, but I doubt that he knows about this base already being taken as well. Seems like he is more so anticipating Rogue to start expanding to the 12 o'clock locations here, rather than the bottom left side. Might be able to pick up on the fact right now, as this creep is coming out of this area. But, and again, Mutalisk once more providing a genuine threat. And the genuine threat here is those 2 engineering bases halfway done with the +3/+3 upgrades. Okay, Mutalisk really committing there. Do manage to take out the armor, which unfortunately is the less crucial one to take out. They do manage to take it out, so still pretty good for Mr. Rogue. Lost a couple of Mutalisk, but not the entire flock, right? Still has a very strong force there up in the sky. 19 Mutalisk. And starting his own +3/+3. He's got the Ultralisk Gavin upgrades on the way there as well. A little bit scary. Okay. BYUN picked up on the fact that there were banelings involved there. Ooh, Zerglings now getting a little bit of a wraparound. Banelings are doing alright now. Ultralisk in the main base, forcing a lot of these units to come back around as well. Is that still enough for Rogue here? He might just be throwing away some of his supply in order to get out more Ultralisk though, to be fair as well. Very good Marauder drops on those banelings, very efficient. It's not something you like to see as a Zerg player. It takes so many banelings to take out a Marauder, it is ridiculous. There's like a bunch of Marines around him as well, right? It doesn't feel that bad because you also get Marines. Oh no, Thors! Oh man, just as you talk about Marauders being difficult to take down. Talk about just incredibly difficult. Right, Rogue, is he falling apart though in the later parts of this game? He's starting to lose some momentum. He's gonna lose the bottom left side base. He killed off a couple of SCVs on the planetary fortress here of BYUN. But BYUN has so many command centers now. I don't think he minds being on 63 workers. He likes to be a little bit lower on the worker supply anyway. At least that's what I see out of him playing versus Zerg. He likes to have that bigger army so he can just be on more places at once without really leaving other places or other armies all too vulnerable. Alright, both players kind of stuck on that part of the map right now. Still one more Widow Mine here that could come into play. Just barely out of sight of that Spore Crawler, it seems. Ultralisk, man. Ultralisk, they are strong, but there's a lot of missile turrets here. Could make it quite difficult for them to actually get an engagement going near that planetary fortress. Alright, here we go. Let's see how well this goes. Banelings in the flank. We do force the bio units to be picked up, but again, that planetary fortress does seem very well equipped with the situation thrown at them that time around. You need to have those Zerglings as well with this army, right? You need to be able to run around the bio, wrap around them, so they're either forced to go into the medevacs or just take the fight right then and there with everything mushed together as the Ultras come in and start chomping away. Another attempt at the bottom left side here. Rogue maintains control, and you know what? His bank is looking quite lively right now. BYUN in a similar boat though, and does have that 40 army supply advantage. Rogue gonna be more hard pressed to be at all places at once. But, you know, that is still a Mutalisk Flock that had no real response to it either. Right, another base right here going down. That's two bases of BYUN falling rather quickly. Still has this force on the top side though. And it is taking out bases as well. Just took out two bases also. Ooh, Mutalisk gotta be careful with the Thor on their tail. Let's take a look at that resources lost tab again. Seemingly going rapidly into favor for BYUN. Rogue has managed to do a lot more mining recently as well. There we are, another fight. Love to keep denying these bases out of BYUN, but BYUN, I mean, this is a threat that needs to be resolved as well. Rogue sends back quite a big portion of his army. But as we said before, there's just so much more army supply here for BYUN. He has two very, very strong armies. And it's not really a possibility for Rogue to fight both of those armies head on at this point in time. It's going to be losing another base, which makes this quite difficult. I don't know, maybe his bank is already gone as well. Well, it's about to be anyway. Circling C, I'm not sure if I like this attempt. I guess it is setting off the Widow Mines that are there. Oh, that could be a big Widow Mine. It is. Oh, another one strikes true. No planetary here this time around. Still a lot of Zerglings and Banelings. Mutalisk flocking in as well. As 3 Ultralisks come marching down the track. Command center once again. Alright, does get saved. Really? There we go, okay. Take care of those Widow Mines here, exactly. BYUN holds on to his bases. He's a little bit behind on supply. Only 34 workers, that is not enough. That's not... How many... Wait, he has... How many orbitals? Yes, 6 orbitals though, wow. Okay, with all those mules landing, he just needs to buy himself a little bit of time in order to get that mining going here. Those Widow Mines, getting good connections. That is going to buy him a little bit of time. But those mules, all 5 of them still knocked out of it. And, oh man. This base as well. I don't think this is the time that BYUN was looking for. Look at all those mules, just desperate to try and get BYUN some money. There we go, with that base going down as well. GG comes out, 88 supply strong left, and yeah, Rogue takes it. GG. Everything seems to be slipping through his fingers. It's the Shopify Rebellions. BYUN. Top right side, his opponents fighting for the Dragon Phoenix Gamers. It is Rogue. The blue Zerg. Showing us a nice variation of strategies here. Some working out better than others. The rubber match. That's right. Officially the rubber match. And once more we have a spawning pool coming out first here out of Rogue. Alright. That is something. See if BYUN will be able to deal with this once again. I guess that there wasn't really anything to be dealt with earlier on in that previous game. No SCV scout from BYUN this time around either, though. Is that gonna provoke Rogue to try and be a little bit more sneaky here? I don't think so, since we... Okay, well, he does get the gas now. You might realize, like, okay, you're just not scouting me. There is a Reaper coming up. The 6 links should be done a little bit quicker. Might be able to prevent getting spotted by that Reaper, especially if the Overlord sees the Reaper as well. Alright, these links should have a clear path towards this command center on the low ground. If BYUN goes for... Okay, does go for a Marine afterwards. Got a bit of a scare that he might get too greedy and go straight for the reactor. Circling C, the Reaper leave. No, it's safe. And they'll be happy to just jump right in. Sends one link off to the SCV. That's building the command center. Very smart. Goes in for the other SCVs right here in the main base right now. Trying to get what he can. Ooh, great micro there. Micro Jackson on the case. Look at those SCVs dance. Oh, the Marine's still getting picked off though. I mean, Rogue truly showing some great dance move of his own there as well. But he's not going to be able to pick off a lot of SCVs. Reaper comes back around as well. But things are safe now. Command center slightly delayed. 1 SCV, 1 Marine for the 6 Lings. And denying that Reaper of ever being on this side of the map, really. Right, where did it go? It went up to here and I was like, oh my, we need to go back. We need to go back. Is that a third base from... Yes, it is. Alright, BYUN going for the third now as well. Rogue around the same time. Look at that on the production tab. So that is looking alright for BYUN. It's going to be difficult though to really push Rogue. Hopefully he will still find a way to kind of force Rogue to make some Zerglings instead of drones, right? That is still a prerequisite. Funny expression, the Micro Jackson. Yeah, I'll be honest, I did not come up with it. It was on Reddit at some point, the StarCraft 2 Reddit. And it is it's just so much fun that, you know, it's stuck around, and it's just a term of endearment for Mr. BYUN. A good old Micro Jackson. Overlord not getting much of a scout there. Well, I guess he sees the production facilities here once again, but doesn't quite see anything else. These are still all things that he saw at an earlier point in time. Reaper taken out, as well as the Overlord. No more scouts for either of these players on the opposing side of the map. But I don't think we'll see anything too crazy coming in anytime soon. Right? We'll most likely still wait for the reactor and the starport, and most likely medevac, or well, maybe one medevac. I don't know. Where is the armory? Where is the armory, BYUN? Is he actually? Yeah, okay, he is. Alright, just gonna stick to the Marines this time. I see what it is. I see what... Just giving up already on those Hellbats. Nice. You know what? Maybe the right idea. Rogue did not seem to struggle against them too much. I like the Marines better because they force out the units of your opponents, and it's easier to get away with, right? They translate better into the late game. So if you do manage to run away with them, they're going to be better down the road rather than the Hellbats. There we go. 2 medevacs almost filled up. 1 Marine short, but... who's counting? Into the main base. There does seem to be a little bit of a clear way. Is this okay? Yeah, Rogue does gain vision with that creep tumor. Immediately responds to it. So that's a rough spot for BYUN right now. We'll have to find a landing area that is a bit more safe. Opts to go for the triangular third base here from Rogue. All the Marines are picked up once again. Oh, may want to... Yeah, there we go. We leave no one behind here. What? Oh, BYUN! What a god. It's a trick we see Zergs do a little bit more often. But yeah, that worked great for Terran as well. Just plop down another engineering bay or a barracks or something like that. Try to keep those banelings far removed. Big circling run by though. Might be able to catch a lot of those SCVs. The SCVs running off, trying to find the safety of the army that's out on the middle of the map. Well, the new infrastructure for BYUN here being severely delayed. Still a Zergling on top of the SCVs as well. And oh my, the attack of BYUN just absolutely getting demolished right here. Everything going up in smoke. Zerglings everywhere. Rogue suddenly... with a lot of units on the other side of the map. 2 siege tanks here. There is just seemingly nothing that BYUN can do at this moment in time to stop the tide of Zerglings and Banelings. Okay, it is slowing down a little bit here. It has run its scores slightly. But, oh, it is just too much, it seems, for BYUN. He taps out. GG is called. Rogue Takes the reverse sweep. What a man, what a lad, what a player we have in him. Very well played.